When I hit my 40s, my hips would literally hurt if I sat too long. My grip really started getting weak, and downhill hikes started killing my knees. And for a long time, I just told myself, I guess this is just what happens as we age. But I was wrong. And when I was in my early 40s, nobody told me, or at least I didn't listen, that strength training literally determines the type of body that I have when I'm in my 70s or 80s. And this is not for the reasons that you think. I am not talking about just getting toned or becoming this gym person that has to go to the gym every day to look a certain way. It's that after 40, we lose muscle every single day if we don't fight for it. Walking and hiking is not going to stop it, but resistance training does. And look, I don't know about you, but I want to carry my own groceries when I'm 75. I want to be able to get off the floor. I want to be able to take the hikes that I'm planning for when I retire, or even the hikes that I'm planning for 20 years down the road. And literally the most important thing is that I want to stay capable and independent for as long as I can. And that's what this channel's about. It's not about looking younger, it's about living stronger. Today, I'm going to walk you through why strength training is a non-negotiable in midlife. And then I'm going to show you 7 exercises that you need to just start. Look, maybe you're like me and have started to notice that things just don't feel the same anymore as we've aged. Try walking up and down stadium bleachers. You'll notice there's a difference. I didn't feel stable. I felt like I needed to use the hand railing. I vividly remember thinking, wow, this is what aging looks like. And I realized, is this just it now? This is how it is? And then I kept thinking, is this just gonna get worse? Now, some change is indeed normal. Obviously, we're aging, right? But I found that feeling weak and fragile does not have to be the new normal. At this stage of life, strength truly has a much deeper meaning. It is about independence, freedom, being able to trust my balance and to trust my steps. And it is about whether or not we can get off the floor, put something up on a shelf without worrying about falling over, or actually just carrying our laundry basket full of laundry. Or it's about stepping over rocks on the trail, or stepping up steps on the trail, or being able to actually catch yourself if you trip. Now that is real everyday strength. And that is truly where things really begin to shift. We start to feel more capable. We have more confidence in ourselves. We walk a little bit taller because we feel stronger. So when I say I'm begging you to start strength training, I'm also reminding myself, because this is not about perfection. This is about personal responsibility and what we have to do to maintain our own independence and strength and resiliency as we age in midlife. I'm really just basically saying we need to take charge of our own personal situations because nobody's gonna do it for you. And it's the one thing money can't buy. So now let's get into these exercises. The first move we're gonna practice is your basic squat, because we do this every single day, right? Start with a chair. I'm gonna use this bench. You sit down and you stand up. You sit down, stand up, putting your weight in your heels. And then as you progress, you don't need to use a bench or a chair. You just bend down. And then you just keep doing this. And then you gradually build up to putting barbells on your shoulders. But today we're just talking about doing the basics. Okay, next exercise is the hinge. Think of this as the movement that you do every day when you're bending over to pick something up. So you're hinging at your hips. I have some dumbbells down here to practice, but you don't need to start with dumbbells. Maybe you start with nothing. Pick it up and squeeze. Push back. Back stays straight and down. This is picking up luggage. This is picking up backpacks. Again, everyday life. And that's the hinge position because life asks us to hinge all the time. Next exercise are the incline push-ups. This is on a barbell that's lifted pretty high. And again, you maintain push-up position and you go down and up. Again, this is what we're doing. Pushing every day in life. Or you can modify down to a bench. I'm even on my knees right now. There is no shame in modifying. Modifying does not mean less than. Modifying just means modifying. You're doing what you can do. And modified means you're training smart. You're doing what you have to do and you're starting where you're at. And the next exercise is a row. And rows will really help balance out all of the sitting we do, the texting, the driving, the hunched over the computer desk. And it's real simple. I'm doing it on a bench, one dumbbell, and you're pulling to your pocket. Pull into your pocket. And those are your pulling movements. And next are step-ups. I have this box that I use in my home gym, but you can use a bench, you can use a chair, you can use a table, you can use stairs, because step-ups build the kind of strength that we actually need on the trail. They help us build uphill strength. They help us build downhill strength. I have to be very careful because I have a bad foot. Next is our carries, because carries are what we do every single day. That's bringing your groceries in from the car. That's lifting the heavy bag of dog food that was just delivered to your door. That's lifting your backpack and putting it up on your back. We lift and we carry every single day. Carrying is functional strength at its finest. So you're really just gonna pick up something heavy and walk with it. 2 ways you can do this. If you don't have room, I have a kettlebell I'm holding here, and you can sit and march. And you can rotate. Switch hands. Or take your kettlebell, walk around your neighborhood. Or you pick up 2 dumbbells and you walk. You walk around your house or you march. You can do all kinds of things, work on your balance. Carrying is working on grip, and that's what we do every day. And last is core. The core that keep us upright, let us hold our backpack, do all the things. And I'm not talking abdominal crunches here. Think planks, dead bugs, bird dogs, movements that help you stay stable. Your core helps you stay steady when the trail becomes uneven. Now, if you're brand new to this, don't overdo it. Literally just start for 2 days a week. Aim for 2 days a week consistently, because that's enough to begin. You combine 2 to 3 sets of all of these moves and you've just completed 2 full body strength training sessions in your week. It takes 30 minutes, use good form, focus on the very basic movements, do that for a few weeks, then you progress up. You can add more weight, you can add more reps, but slow progress is what you're going for. And that's a perfect starting point. If you already have some experience, build up to 3 or 4 days a week. Add more weight, add more reps. But please don't let the perfect plan keep you from starting, because the best plan is the one that you'll actually do. Since I've gone to 3 to 4 days a week, I am super consistent over the last several years, and it's made a huge difference. I've been able to drop some weight, I've been able to build some muscle, and then over time, I just kept challenging myself, which I encourage you to, over time, keep challenging yourself. And the weight should eventually feel a little challenging, because that means you're pushing yourself to the upper parts of your strength. And your body's gonna adapt when you give it a reason to adapt. But that's how you build muscle in midlife, slowly and consistently. And you build it rep by rep, workout by workout, day by day. And just remember, you're allowed to start with no weights. You're allowed to modify. That's where I think a lot of people, and I know I did, I would compare myself to the person on the video and think, I don't look like they do. So I would kill myself trying to look like they did. And then I end up hurting myself or not doing it right. And then I would burn out and then I would quit. So let's normalize being a beginner and starting wherever you're at, because starting's the hardest part. And if you're here on my channel because you love hiking, strength training will make your hiking better. Hiking asks a lot from your body, your glutes, your core, your legs, and strength training will help develop all of that. Walking is good, hiking is good, but it's not gonna keep your muscle. After 40 and 50, we need strength training. We need muscle, we need balance, and we need the kind of training that tells our body we're not done yet. So let me ask you, what do you want strength training to do for you? Do you wanna be able to hike farther? Do you wanna be able to get off the floor without thinking twice? You wanna travel with confidence? Because that answer is your reason and your motivation to keep this going. So you need to be thinking about that. My personal answer is to be independent and keep getting out on all the trails. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know your way around the gym. You just have to be willing to take that first step. So start simple. Start with these basic exercises I showed you, and just start with 2 days a week. And if this video inspired you even just a little bit, I would really love it if you hit subscribe and become a part of my community so we can learn from each other. My channel, Lift.Hike.Thrive, is for women in midlife who want to get stronger, get outside, rebuild confidence, and create a second act that actually energizes their soul. And if you could, I'd love for you to comment. What's the one thing you want strength to do for you? Let me know. Tell me below, because I want the comment section to be proof that we're actually not in this alone.